Welcome to the Impact Exchange, where real estate, leadership, and real estate financing meet with a little personality. I'm Jordan Thorpe.
And I'm Ronnie Esparza.
Every episode, we break down the moves, the money, and the mindset that help you navigate today's market with clarity and confidence.
All in a way that actually makes sense. So let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Impact Exchange. Ronnie, episode number 3.
Ha! You do win. How's it going, everybody?
All right. Right before the holidays, we know there's no shortage of stress, but also no shortage of merriment for the holidays.
I look like Scrooge.
It's okay. I am Scrooge. Might have been about me.
Look like Scrooge.
Bah humbug.
So today, Jordan, I think what we'll be talking about, let's talk a little bit about say I have a lead, right? So my uncle called me and he says, "Hey, I'm looking to buy a house.
Okay.
I'm already pre-approved with the best loan officer in California, dude named Ronnie Esparza with Premier Mortgage Resources. Ronnie Loan Officer on Instagram, by the way. And he come to you and I say, hey, so he's already approved and everything. What do you want, or what would be an ideal scenario for you to make it easier for you, but not just for you, for the client, right? Because obviously we as our job is to make sure that they have a smooth transaction, right? Our clients that we've had, our mutual clients that we've had, yeah, it gets a little stressful, but it's a part of the game, but we try to make it as smooth as possible, and they've been super happy.
Nothing that's not figure outable.
Right. And so what do you, as like in the last episode, Realtor, would, I still think it's Realtor, would be ideal for you?
So I am a huge proponent for having a consultation with my clients, with prospective clients, with leads. That's the first thing I do with all of them. What's your schedule like? I always like to do in person. This is very much a people industry. I'm also very aware that technology exists to do a Zoom conference, to do a Google Meet, whatever you have to do, meet the client where they're at. And I sit down with the client and we have a really good conversation. I want to get to know them. I let them ask questions about me. What do they want to know? What's important to them? And then we talk about their wants. What do they want in a house? And I break it down in a very simple method. You have 3 boxes, 3 big boxes. These are your must-haves. House has to be minimum square footage of X. I need 3 bedrooms. I need 2 bathrooms. It gives me time to figure out, okay, you say you want this, there's this available, would this work? And this is an option. But I can't operate my business for them without knowing what they want first. So having that conversation, getting that clarity, and I walk it through big boxes, medium boxes, small boxes. Your big boxes, we're not going to go and look at the house unless it checks all 3 of those. Your medium, you really want them. Almost a need, not quite a need. It is a want still. But those are the boxes, those are the options that have the potential to sway whether we go and see it, whether you want to write an offer on it. And small boxes are a want.
Right.
You don't have to have them. It's a bonus.
Okay.
After we have that conversation, I have all of my notes. We set the expectations. These are my work hours. You'll never get a text from me after this time or before this time.
That never happens.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm pretty firm with my boundaries, but I'm also very aware that a lot of the clientele that I work with has different hours. So I really am accommodating for the client. And as are you, if we have to get on a call at 11 o'clock at night, it's what we have to do for that specific client. But I'm never just going to out of the blue text a client at like 11 o'clock at night. Randomly, I'll always have something scheduled with them first and run it by them. having the expectations conversation with them really shows them too that I'm not just going to be available at their beck and call. I have multiple clients that I'm working with. I have to service my clients at a very high level in my business. I'm going to make it feel like you are my only client.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't get back to you right away, it doesn't mean that I'm ignoring you. I'm either figuring out the problem or bringing you a solution before there's any conversation that needs to be had.
Key thing, though, you get back to them.
Exactly. I'm always going to communicate with my
Right.
clients. Generally, I try and get a response back to them within the same hour. If it's very urgent, I always pick up the phone and I give them a call.
Right. Yeah.
When possible.
Right. Now, if someone were to come to you and they're not pre-approved,
Mm-hmm.
they just want to, hey, I make good money, I have money down, I want to go look at this house. What do you say to someone like that?
I always have my clients get pre-approved first because you never know what's going to show up on a credit report. Identity theft is at an all-time high. And yeah, sure, you could have money saved.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you have the full payment for the house saved and we don't run your credit and you need a loan, what if there's a credit card or a collection account from out of state that you didn't know about?
Mm-hmm.
Now that house that we went and toured and you fell in love with and you absolutely want it and you're saying, I have to have this house. I'm moving into it. This house is mine. Well, the money's not there.
It's happened.
We have to work through stuff to get that. So I always send my clients to a lender. I always recommend go and get pre-approved.
Yeah.
Don't have the conversation. Send in your documents. Don't have just the conversation, I should say. Send in your documents. Fill out the application. Know where you stand because that snapshot is going to give you a picture of where you currently are.
Right.
What the possibility is, and where you need to be if you want something else.
Right.
So it's building your financial plan to get there. Plus, one of the things that I do during our consultation is I'm going to talk to them. Do you have any debt currently? Do you have any car payments? Do you have any credit card debt? Where are we? So that way, when I make the introduction to a lender, I say, hey, this is what's going on. This shouldn't be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really important, though, to have that consultation with them. And it makes them feel good, too.
So you kind of pre-screen them.
Absolutely.
Right? You pre-screen them so you know what basic information you can give over to the lender that you refer them to, right?
Right. And it also gives me a chance to, one, build a relationship with them, start there, but two, figure out their communication style. Who's the point person?
Yeah.
Who wants to receive everything? Who's going to be submitting everything? Mm-hmm. Who's that person?
Right. Because who's the boss? Who makes the decisions?
Who's the driver?
Yeah. See, here, I'll tell you who the boss is in my relationship, right? In my marriage. I'm the boss. I'm the one that wears the pants, right? My wife just tells me which ones. I'm okay with that.
Would you have it any other way, though?
No, my queen. No, my queen. I would not.
Good answer.
I would not.
Shout out to Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Good.
So that's really how I go about approaching all of my clients and getting them from start to keys. And let's turn it over to you. You meet someone, say, I'm ready to buy a house. What do I do? Because realistically, we can run our processes at the same time.
Sure.
There's nothing saying like, oh no, you have to go to this person first. You don't have to go to this person. And I mean, if when a client comes to me and they say, oh, I'm pre-approved with this person, I'm really surprised. And I'm very grateful that they've taken the time to do the work before.
Mm-hmm.
But that's much more of a rare occurrence than meeting with me first and then getting the referral to a lender.
Okay. And it makes it like we were talking about it earlier. It makes it easier for them, and it makes it easier for you.
Yes.
Right, because they're already approved. Now,
Yes.
good thing you said pre-approved. Now, just a real quick explanation, guys, is there's a difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification. I'll touch on that very, very briefly. A pre-qualification means you've had a verbal conversation, talked about your income, talked about your assets, a little bit about your debt, and what's your credit score. Okay. If they pull your credit and go off your credit and just kind of look at your stuff, okay, cool. Yeah, you're pre-qualified. But in order for you to be pre-approved, it has to be blessed, underwritten by the underwriter. Once you get the underwritten approval, that means we've already verified your employment, your assets, your credit, and everything like that.
Right.
So we're good to go.
Right.
Right. So that's what you want to do, is you want to get pre-approved. Now, to get pre-approved, it's pretty simple. You'll need at least, we're almost at the end of the year now.
At the end of the year.
Okay, so we're at the end of the year. Right now, the only thing I would need would be your W-2 for 2024, your pay stub, your two most recent pay stubs. Because what I need to do is I need to calculate your income with that. I only need the W-2s. I do not need all of your taxes. The big stack, I don't need that. I only need the W-2. Now, if you're self-employed, yes, I need the big stack. But for the most part, if you're not self-employed, you're a W-2 employee, I just need a W-2. If you're a W-2 employee, that's all I need. Just a W-2 for 2024, most recent pay stubs, two most recent bank statements, and your ID, a copy of your ID, and that's pretty much it. So W-2 for 2024, two most recent pay stubs, two most recent bank statements, and your ID. With that, we can take your application and we can get you submitted. So that for me would be an ideal borrower who has that already. Now, technology is here. So we kind of have sometimes, some clients don't know or are having a hard time, or it could be a challenge for them to upload documents in PDF format. Some people don't even know what PDF means, right? JPEG, well, what's that? And just take the great part about working with us is you can take a picture of the actual document, right? And upload it as a picture, which is JPEG. JPEG is a picture. PDF is form. So that for me is ideal because I can take the application, submit it. I can pre-qual it right there and then as soon as I pre-qual it, I send it up. Takes us 48 hours for my underwriter to take a look at it, and we get the approval in 48 hours. Now, the great thing about technology is that we're able to do the verification of employment quickly. We get it in seconds. Same thing with the bank statements. We can do that. Your pay stubs and stuff like that. So, and the bank and your bank assets also, we can do that. It's all online, which is great. We use a certain service that will allow us to verify digitally, and that way everything's done almost instantaneously. And if I'm able to get someone like that, get a pre-approval over to you, you can start looking for a home. As soon as you get that home in contract, we're already done essentially, because all I need to do is order the appraisal, wait for the inspections for you guys, and we can have that stuff loan closed in 15, 20 days. if we have the pre-approval ready to go.
Right.
So,
And I would say that's the biggest difference between a pre-approval and a fully underwritten or a desktop underwritten pre-approval. The heavy lifting is really done up front. Sure,
correct.
you have to have appraisal. If we have to renegotiate, we have to renegotiate. But on my end, I'm not going to have to worry about, hey, did you get this into Ronnie or this lender or whomever? Did you get this form in to this person? Did this person contact you? The majority of it's done. So I can really stay in my lane and focus on the real estate portion for the clients.
Right.
Okay, these are the inspections that they already have. What inspections do you want to do in addition to these? Because you have the right to do them. And it's all dependent on what you write in the contract and much more. We could get really in the weeds with this one, but it's all in what the client wants. So that allows me the free time to focus on helping them, making sure they're fully comfortable with this purchase because, they're married to this for 30 years. So it's definitely a long commitment, and it's also very nerve-wracking for our clients because they're nervous, they're excited, emotions are high, tensions might be high. If you have people buying the house together, whether it's a relative, whether it's a married couple, dating couple, whatever the situation is, emotions are going to be high.
Yeah. I run across that quite a bit also. I mean, it's stressful. It is stressful. And it's funny that you say, things could pop up on credit reports, right? If I can make one suggestion to our listeners here, would be upfront with your spouse before you come in to have your credit checked.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about judgments?
No, I'm talking
Child
about
support?
credit cards.
Oh.
That's solely happened a couple times, but credit cards happens a lot.
Yeah.
You have what?
Right.
How much?
Yeah.
What? And so, the bickering starts, and that's where the emotions start, right? So, big tip.
Yeah. And we definitely
open.
see that a lot more with couples who have been married, newlyweds,
Yeah.
I guess we could say.
Yeah.
They might have their debt from before, might not be super upfront with it. The other spouse might have their debt from before, and they never had the financial conversation before the marriage and said, okay, here's where I'm at.
But and that's what we're here for, right? That's what I'm here for, because I see a lot of stuff. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of different scenarios that I've seen in my last 29 years. But it's, the biggest thing I think, like I said, is just make sure that you're upfront with your partner, that you're going to be applying with, as far as credit and maybe debt that you're in with, or that you're in, and income, assets and stuff like that. Because sometimes I'll ask a client, okay, so what do you have in your bank account? Because we get nosy.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
Right.
We're lending $750,000, right? And so we have to ask these questions. But sometimes I'll ask this question, and then the wife or the partner will be like, "How much do you have?" And then the gentleman will say, "Well, how much do you need?" That's number one answer all the time. Well, how much do you need? Be upfront.
Right.
Be upfront with everybody. That way you're not having uncomfortable conversations in front of your loan officer, because it kind of gets a little awkward.
Yeah. We've definitely been in the middle of some stuff. But here's a good bonus question for you. How do you deal with the clients that don't want to open up and are very private and don't want to say, here's where I'm at. And they just are always pushing back and saying, well, why do you need to know that? Well, I don't think that's any of your business.
I've had them.
Yeah,
And
same.
I'm pretty transparent to and direct when it comes to stuff like that. When we sit down, and just like I told you right now, I tell them I'm going to get very noisy. So if you get uncomfortable, it's just there are questions that I have to ask you, and information I need to know. We need to know as a bank, because again, we're lending you $750,000, $1 million to you. Yes, you may have great credit and stuff, but there's also, other things that I need to know. How much do you make? Can you afford the payment? That's why I ask. How much
your
money do
ratios?
you have?
Right.
Exactly. How much do you have in your bank? Why do you need to know? Well, I need to know if you have enough money. Well, we're doing 100% financing. You still have closing costs.
Right.
Right. So we need to know all this. And then we can get into the weeds as far as why do you need to know how much money I have in my account and how long it
all sorts of stuff.
That's deep in the weeds. But we need to know. So I'll let them know. I'll be up front. Hey, we're going to get pretty nosy, and we're going to get even nosier if we get into contract. So that kind of, mellows them out and just kind of opens them up. And, and if they don't want to give me the information, I still give them some information. I'll tell them, I'll give them a very basic general loan estimate. This is how much you would need. This is how much your payment would be. If your credit score is this and your ratios fall in line and you have the closing costs and you have the down payment if we're requiring a down payment. But you have to be direct. If you're direct up front and you let them know what they're getting themselves into or what they're getting into, I think they're more open to give you the answers.
Right. Yep.
It's
the exact same on our part too. And it's something that I'll tell them during our consultation. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. Please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. There is no such thing as a stupid question. You have to just really trust the person you're working with. And that's why it's so important to build that relationship up front so they feel as if they can trust you. And then you build the credibility along the way. If I say you're going to have something by me at this time, you're going to have something from me by this time. So just little things to build that and really help to kind of break down the barriers, because we do see it. People are very reserved. They don't want to open up, and I get it. And the one thing that I will really emphasize with my clients is tell me everything up front, because I can get you out of just about anything, and I could work with just about any situation. And even if the situation is saying, hey, right now might be the best time for you, this is why. These are our options. That's what we have to do for our clients. If it's in their best interest, it's in their best interest, not ours. And that's what we have to stick to.
That is so true. That, you were saying something right now. I'm trying to remember. Asking questions.
Yes.
Ask questions, and ask more questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because for me, if you don't ask the question, I'm going to assume that you already know the answer. If you don't ask the question again, I'm going to assume that you got it the first time. Buying a home is really, really stressful. So just make sure that you're answering, or that you're asking the questions and you're getting and if you don't understand the answer, ask your lender to explain it. Okay, what does this mean? I don't get, what is DTI? What is,
front end ratio? What's the back end? What do you mean?
Is all that stuff? You know what I mean? And in future episodes, I think we can get into stuff like that, so we can break it down episode by episode. But again, ask questions. I mean, we had our client who was afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, from a previous experience.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you're getting yelled at or you're whatever, just call me. Call me.
There you
But
go.
yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Questions. Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, I think it's time we let our followers go, our
Okay.
listeners go. We want to wish you all a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that good stuff. And we look forward to many more episodes. We appreciate you tuning in, and safe travels if you're planning on going anywhere.
Y para todos los que hablan español, les queremos desear un feliz Navidad, próspero año y nos vemos para el año que viene, si Dios quiere.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.